course, Dave Ellefson here, and we're going to be talking about coffee and basically just find out why Dave loves coffee so much. And that's it. So let me ask you the first question. When was the first time you had coffee?
I moved to LA, and when I met Dave, we started Megadeth. We had a drummer named Dijon Carruthers, and he was really into coffee. So we, at the time, like chock full of nuts was kind of like, that was like a premium blend, you know. So me and Dijon would sit over at his house and drink coffee all the time. And that's when I started messing with sugar versus honey and things like that. I actually like honey in coffee. It's super sweet.
So basically, I know you're like me. When we see a Starbucks or whatever in a place, we have to go. We want it. We need it. What's your morning experience like for coffee? How do you do it? How do you make it? What's your...
Well, okay, for instance, today, Dave calls me at 9:15 a.m. Okay, let's go have breakfast. So, woke me up. I was up a little late last night. So I got up, I ran down to the bus, and I have my brew and my stuff there. So we just have a cheap Mr. Coffee. But anyway, but they work, you know, and because I hate Keurigs. These buses have Keurigs on it. I hate Keurig coffee because it's cheap, old coffee that's been stored in a warehouse for like 10 years and crap. So I go down.
It's not enough.
Yeah, grind the beans, put it in. I have a nice kind of. I kind of just eyeball now, right? So so I put it in, and I put in 2 bottles of water, brew my stuff, get it. I always put half and half in because I like it to be nice and thick. And that's my brew for the morning.
So you prefer, okay, so for me in the morning it has to be strong and it has to be hot.
Absolutely.
Are you an iced coffee guy too?
Okay, I live in Arizona, so now even today's not too bad, but some of these festivals, it's hot out. It is nice to have a refreshing drink, and I find that the lighter blends usually work well with an iced coffee. So in Arizona at home, I often will have an iced coffee like later in the day, because I have 2 coffee times. First thing in the morning, kind of get me up, get my eyes open, get rolling. And then also later in the day, usually around 3, 4, probably no later than 5 o'clock. Have that one. So I usually drink a lighter blend, which has a lot more energy in the morning, right? And then later in the day, you can have a darker, like a French roast or something
or cold
like that.
Brew.
Or if it's a cold brew, often those tend to be a little bit lighter.
To be, But sometimes there's more caffeine too.
Absolutely.
You get more of that. So, like, tell me about your brew, what you came up with.
Okay, so mine, the Ellefson Coffee Company, which started around one blend. It's a Brazilian blend. I tried a bunch of different blends. I wanted a Sumatra, and for whatever reason, I didn't like it. And Paul, who runs Parliament Coffee, who sources all my beans and does all my roasting for me, who also plays guitar in Between the Buried and Me, and so he's one of the brothers of the hood here. And anyway, he was really steering me toward this Brazilian blend, and so it was the last one I tried, and so I tried it and I went, he's right, it's awesome, and so it was great. So for me, the roast and peace blend is initially it's a darker roast, and now I'm going to be bringing out some kind of medium and lighter blends, and also kind of focusing a little bit toward that iced coffee experience, which I like to have, again, being in the desert. So I started with the dark roast, which I like, but not everybody's into a really super dark roast. And as you said, the lighter roasts, they actually tend to have more caffeine in them. So these are we can trace the origin of where these beans came from. This first one is Brazilian, and I like it because for me, I want there to be the synergy between our fans in those cultures.
No, that's
kind of put the flag on the back. It's kind of like a tour book,
Now, are you like me when you go to a certain country, certain city, you search out this? I want this style of coffee. Like for instance, we were just in South America, so I went Costa Rica.
Costa Rica is a good one because their blends are great.
El Salvador was also good too.
I've only flown through El Salvador, so I have not had that experience. Guatemala is another one. I love Guatemalan beans. For you and me, Starbucks becomes our McDonald's.
It's familiar.
It's familiar.
We know exactly.
It's kind of the American embassy, right? We've touched base. We're home. We're safe. We have a diplomatic immunity inside of the Starbucks.
And the funny thing about this is, like, the first ever metal. What do we call it back when we did the first metal?
Clash of the Titans.
When we did the Big Four, but we also did like a little bit of a clinic. Remember?
It was Metal Masters.
Metal Masters.
Right.
And I remember we're in a van or a car, wherever we were, and all of a sudden we saw Starbucks, and I think both of us at the same time hit it.
Well, what it represents is we are coffee, we are a community. Come in, and it's funny. Kiko who I've, now has really had kind of this different perspective because he read the Howard Schultz book and learning the history of how there's just these two coffee roasters in Seattle, and then Schultz, being the business guy, comes in and took that concept to create what they call the third place. You have your home, your work, and this third place being Starbucks or this coffee shop thing. And Starbucks didn't invent that. That started really in Europe with these
especially
European.
the Italians.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're very big on having this sort of third location in your life where you go to chill. I mean, like we're in a tent at a festival talking about
coffee.
We always seek out that third location in our lives, and for us, it usually involves having a cup of coffee.
But it goes hand in hand with, I think, musicians. Some musicians. Not everybody likes coffee. And when I find people that like coffee, I usually gravitate towards them. We talk more about things because at the end of the day, we love the experience of that first sip in the morning.
Yes, absolutely.
It's all about that, how you do it, what you get, and how it takes you through the rest of your day until about 3, 4 o'clock when you get that iced coffee.
And reboot again.
And then reboot. But
man, thank you. Thank you for blowing me aside. Yeah, we are the
Charlie and Dave, we've been here talking about coffee.